So, welcome to our webinar. I am Doris. I work as an international marketing specialist here at Tallinn University. Today, I am going to tell you about Tallinn University overall. Then we're going to concentrate on two of our programs, media program and cross-media and film and television program. And after that, I'm going to tell you about our admission procedure, about living costs in Tallinn, about accommodation, and so on. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them from the chat window. My colleagues under the name of Tallinn University 1 and 2 will answer to all of your questions that you might have. So feel free to ask. So first of all, Tallinn University is located in Estonia. And why Estonia? Well, since I see that a lot of you are from Riga who are attending the webinar, then I think you most probably know very well where Estonia is on the map and where it's located. We are your neighbors. But others who do not know, we are a really small country in Europe, next to Russia and across the bay from Finland. Our area is approximately 45,000 square kilometers. So as I said, we are a really small country with a population of only 1.3 million people. Our capital, Tallinn, where our university is located, has a population around 400,000. Our currency, as in a lot of European Union countries, is euro, and logical that we are part of European Union then as well, a part of Schengen area, which means we have open borders with the rest of Europe, and we are part of NATO as well. Our official language is Estonian, but English and Russian are widely spoken here in Estonia. And we are an e-society. We have Wi-Fi access almost everywhere. We have e-voting, e-parking, name it. And also what we're really proud of is that Skype was developed by Estonian engineers. When you move to Estonia, for EU citizens, it is simple. You just come here and apply for the right of temporary residence. For non-EU students, first of all, you need to get a confirmation letter that you have been admitted to our university, and after that you can go and apply for a visa in our embassy. And after that, you can apply for the right of temporary residence. For more information about the residence permit and visa, please go to those sites that I have written here, police.ee and vm.ee. The last one is a page for our Ministry of Foreign Affairs. From there, you can get all the detailed information about the process. A lot of our prospective students ask whether they can work during their studies or not. The answer is yes. You can work in Estonia while you are a student. You even can work full-time, but you have to be sure that you can still study as a full-time student. You can, of course, ask contacts from your institute, in internship context as well, that at one point may be a prospective career option. Yeah, or you can go to our university's career and counseling center and talk to them. If you would like to know more info about working in Estonia, go to workinestonia.com, and there you can find everything necessary for working in Estonia, and also you can find different job offers from there. So a few words about Tallinn University as well. We are the third largest public university in Estonia, but the largest one that teaches humanities and social sciences. Tallinn University, as we see it today, was established in 2005. So we are a rather young university, but actually the history dates back. But yeah, as Tallinn University, we actively teach students and do research from 2005. At the moment, we have approximately 9,000 students studying on our BA, MA, and PhD level, among whom around 900 are foreign students. This 900 makes up of degree students and exchange students. We have more than 600 degree students at the moment. Most of our degree students come from Finland, then from Russia, Latvia, Lithuania, Turkey, Georgia, Ukraine, and so on. We have around 1,000 staff members, among whom 9% are foreign academics, which is one of the highest percentages in Estonian universities. So the multicultural experience is also guaranteed by the professors also. We have around 250 partner universities, which means when you come to study here at Tallinn University and at one point you want to go and study abroad a semester or a year, you have a variety of universities where to choose among. And at the moment, we have 8 academic units at Tallinn University. 6 of them are the institutes we have here, and we have 2 regional colleges as well outside of Tallinn. We believe that we have a leading and promoting role of intelligent lifestyle in Estonia. And as a result, we have directed our resources and activities into 5 broad focus fields. So all the research, all the studies, everything is done in those broad focus fields. So the focus fields are educational innovation, cultural competences, society and open governance, digital and media culture, which we're going to tell you in more detail today, and healthy and sustainable lifestyle. Here at Tallinn University, we believe into individual approach to students, which means our courses are rather small. Our students can always approach the lecturer, discuss different matters and topics. We believe in interdisciplinarity. We have a good location. Our campus is located right in the heart of the city center, which means everything is close by. Old town that belongs to the UNESCO World Heritage is only 10 minutes walk away. The harbor is 5 minutes walk away. The airport and bus station are nearby. And today we have quite new buildings here as well. And our facilities include everything necessary for studying, research, and even doing film or media production. And even what we have here is our own cinema hall called Supernova, where our students can go and see films for free, for example. So, briefly about Tallinn University. Now a few words about Baltic Film Media Arts and Communication School, which is one of the schools of Tallinn University. Here you can see the house you see in the photo. This is a photo of the main building of BFM, where there are television studios, film studios, a cinema hall, everything necessary for filmmaking. The building is rather new, built in 2012. But about BFM, approximately 1,100 students study at BFM each semester, among whom around 120 are international students, about 40 different countries worldwide. BFM has over 70 partner universities in Europe and Asia. What is main thing that the BFM differs from other schools is that they believe in learning by doing. They believe in practical approach in their studies, which means that you really have this hands-on experience, for example, in the media studies or in cross-media studies. And as I already said, the building that houses BFM is quite modern. There are modern video and sound equipment, own TV studios, sound studios, editing rooms, film studio, and everything necessary for shooting is provided by the institute, all the equipment that is needed. But now I'm going to give the floor to my colleague, Dirk Hoier, who's going to tell you in more detail about the Media BA program.
Hello, my name is Dirk Hoier. I'm a lecturer for audiovisual arts in the BA media program of Baltic Film Media School. And I would like to talk a bit about our program. And I think it's one of the main things that is very important in connection to our program is we are a program that is fully in English language, which means our students are basically, half of them are foreigners. They come from countries that go as far as Venezuela, Faroe Islands, Singapore, United States, Canada, but also all sorts of European countries. We have very intensive Erasmus network. So, I mean, the whole environment to study media is probably the most international environment you can get for sure in the Baltic states. In addition to that, of course, the whole program is geared towards a mix of vocational experience and training in the fields that are knowledge training in the fields of film and media. We have essentially several tracks. So, I mean, the basic program is geared towards people who are interested both in film and television. And it's in the beginning, in the first 2 years, the program is rather widely conceived, which means you learn a lot of different things. And that's often highly appreciated by our students because they get some ideas about what multi-camera production for television is like. They shoot their first short films, they write their scripts, they make their first documentaries, they get, of course, the basics in cinematography, visual composition, and also they are getting a full experience in editing, lighting, and all the other things. And at some point, it's possible to so-called focus on certain areas. And I mean, what we normally have is one part of the students who are doing in the bachelor work after 3 years is in most of the cases an audiovisual work. That means short films, that means short documentary films, that means television programs. And we have, in order to get there and in order to do good work, we have 4 focus areas, which are script writing, film directing, audiovisual production, and also the idea of television. So, I mean, all these 4 focus areas lead you to find the right role. And I think what is very important when you study media is to get to know the full field of audiovisual media. And gradually, after 2 years, normally the students find their path, they find their specialization. And in the 3rd year, they're able to then do a bachelor work, which is, as I said, in most of the cases, an audiovisual work. I think what is also very important, I mean, our teaching staff is also partly international. I mean, the language, as I said already, is fully in English. And there's a big amount of collaborations also with other universities in the framework of Erasmus. So a lot of our students, even foreigners who come here, they go again for an Erasmus year to other institutions. So, I mean, in brief, you could define this audiovisual media program as a very open approach to learning this in English language in a very, very international and multicultural environment. And that's appreciated not only by our Estonian students, but it's obviously also even more appreciated by the foreign students. So maybe I would talk a little bit, just for the sake of it, about some of the courses that you know a bit what is being taught here. So, I mean, some parts are, the smallest parts are media theory parts, but then there's also basics of dramaturgy, basics of film language, history and concepts of documentary film, film history courses, introduction to television, basics of television journalism, multi-camera skills, lighting, acting, directing actors, several camera work exercises. The idea, of course, that we believe that students should already very early start to actually shoot. So, I mean, normally most of our students have, after the first year, already shot at least one piece of audiovisual work. And over the time, they have normally shot, before they graduate, 3 or 4 short films or pieces of television journalism, if not more. Very often, the active students have the possibility to use equipment to meet people, to do their own projects, and to just, in a way, enhance their skills through own initiative. I think that's an important aspect. And we would really be very much looking forward to having students here who are curious, who really want to get to know the whole field of audiovisual media, and who would like to learn over these 3 years which is their place in this very complex field. Because, as you know, of course, the fields of activities are very different. And I mean, normally after a while, people find their place. And it can be that they become editors, that they become producers, that they become television journalists, film directors, or cameramen. So we are very interested in giving the people the opportunity to find their field and to practice hands-on also what they want to do in this field of audiovisual media. So that's at the moment what I would like to say, I mean, if there's an interest, I could go more specifically into certain classes or answer questions that are related to that. But I'm looking at the chat window. Silence. Well, in which case, I can just strongly encourage you. I mean, first of all, I mean, Doris said that already. Tallinn is a very good place. It's close to the sea. Everything is very central. You can do everything by bike. You have an international environment in the school, and you have to the size of the country also the possibility to get a lot of projects done that you don't get done anywhere else. We recently had German students visiting, and they were amazed about the possibilities simply because you say in Estonia everything is just one phone call away. So you could work with actors who are actually very professional actors who would normally take money, but they're interested in participating. Everything is somehow connected. Everything is close, and I think that's a very good environment to study. So I mean, I would obviously very strongly recommend to come here and study media. Thank you. I will give the word to my dear colleague Alessandro Nani.
Hello, good afternoon. So, yeah, my name is Alessandro Nani, and I am here because I represent the curriculum Crossmedia in Film and Television. Is a BA program. And so let's see, first of all, what is implying. Well, first of all, yes, it is a course full in English. And as my colleague Dirk was saying, even our curriculum is done catering the needs of international students. So the staff is well balanced between Estonian teachers that teach in English and foreign teachers. Well, in my case, I'm Italian, for example. And what you do here is mainly, and the reason why you should come here is mainly to, as a final outcome, you will have one graduation project that you develop through the 3 years of studies here at Tallinn University. You will as well make a number of audiovisual and cross multi-platform, let's say, multimedia projects. And our course is often working in cooperation with the industry. So, for example, with public service broadcasting here in Estonia. But what is cross-media? This is a word that perhaps many of you are not familiar with. Well, cross-media is the answer to today's needs. Is the way that today media is done. There is not anymore one single platform, but it's the integration of different texts. So you think, for example, you want to make a film, and then you want to expand it into other medium, for example, the internet. So it is the practice to create a story, to create stories that unfold on multiple platforms. I'll give you an example. You create a story where you have two protagonists, and with that you decide to make a movie. But you know, a movie is usually 1.5 hour long, and you can say certain things, but other things you have to leave out. So what we will teach you here is to use other opportunities. For example, creating a book, creating a game, creating a number of series for the web, for example, where you describe the things that you have left untold in the film. So you expand the stories on different platforms. So if you ask yourself, how can I approach storytelling in innovative ways to find my audience? Or if you ask yourself, how can I make films and TV content that expand through printed media, events, mobile media, games, and social media? Or if you have the question is, how could I cooperate with my audience together to develop my project further? Or even more, how should be my business model in case of multimedia innovative stories? These are all questions that the course, Cross-Media Film and Television, will answer. It's a multidisciplinary course that will teach you the art of filmmaking, of television making, of different media making, such as books, events, games, etc., etc. And it will teach you as well, it will give you a good understanding of relevant business models. That once you have left the university, you will be able to answer the needs of the industry in a sustainable way, so that you're not left alone with your skills that are only about audiovisual making, and you know nothing about how to run successfully your company. So in terms of what we are teaching here you can see some examples of our classes. We have introduction to cross-media environment, sound recording, storytelling that is specifically designed for storytelling on different platforms. So not only you will learn how to make a script for a film, but you will as well learn how to make stories online for the web, or how to write a book. Then we have courses like basics of TV journalism, social media, semiotics of multimedia, media theories, and more. Here there is an example. Monsters to Clowns was done by our students 2 years ago. It was exactly the outcome of this course. And it was one of the finalists, of the 4 finalists at the official selection of International Festival Film Interactive. And you can see here the link. Now I cannot play it due to shortage of time that I'm allocated here. But you will receive the slides, and you can play the video. It's very self-explanatory. But what is interesting to say here is that you have to imagine 4 students from a BA course going there into Poland and being on the stage with people from, for example, BBC, from Arte, etc., etc. So yes, students, but yes, professional enough to be put on the same stage at the same level, competing for the same prize as the big players of the media industry in Europe today. So during your studies, you will have the opportunity to work with partners, for example, such as the Estonian Public Service Broadcasting. Then you will be able to present your projects as Sleep Workers, which is our Estonian short film festival. And if you're good enough and if you are selected, this is what happened in the past, you will have the opportunity to participate in international festival, such as, for example, Cross Video Days. We had 2 projects there that takes place in summer in Paris. So this is all I wanted to say. And I hope that you got a fairly good understanding of what you're gonna learn here. And if you have any further questions, I'm here available to answer to you. Otherwise, I will pass the word now back to Doris. So just 1 second. Doris? Okay, so thanks a lot. And I will now go behind another computer. So if you have any questions, I will answer to you via chat. Have a good day. Bye.
So I hope you had a good overview of both of the programs. Here is the contact as well for the Crossmedia program. If you would like to know more detailed information, you can write to crossmedia@tlu.ee or go to our website and read more about BFM. Then you can go tlu.ee/BFM and read more information from there. Now a few words about the study allowances that Tallinn University offers. And those allowances are only for people who have been already admitted to Tallinn University. Then you can apply. First is a needs-based study allowance for students from financially disadvantaged backgrounds. And the study allowance can be from 75 up to 220 euros per month. This is, you have to apply one time and then you will get the study allowances throughout your studies. Other one is study allowance based on your study results. If you have a good average grade, then it is most likely that you will get the allowance. This allowance is 100 euros per month, but for this allowance, you have to apply each semester once again. So I will tell you about the admission requirements for international students now. First of all, you have to keep in mind the deadlines. The deadlines are the most important. For people from non-EU countries, the deadline for applying is 15th of April. So 15th of April is the last day that everything has to be done. All the documents need to be admitted. For EU citizens and applicants from Turkey, Russia, Ukraine, and Georgia, the deadline is 1st of June. And for Finnish citizens for bachelor studies, the deadline is 1st of August. So what you have to do, first you need to go to estonia.dreamapply.com and fill in the online application form there. Then you need to pay the application fee, which is 80 euros. And you need to send by post to us the online application cover that has to be printed and signed, and a copy of a secondary education certificate and your transcript of records. And the translation is requested if the documents are not in English. And both of the copies and translations must be attested by a notary. So you need to send those things by post. After that, you need to prove your English proficiency. You can prove that, for example, with the most well-known test as IELTS or TOEFL, or you can carry out the language test here at Tallinn University as well. That costs only 40 euros, much cheaper than this option. So this is an option as well. You can get more information about the Tallinn University language test when you go to tlu.ee/admissions. There is everything, all the necessary information about the test is there. After that, you need to upload to online application system the copy of your identification page of passport and the receipt that you have paid the application fee. Some of the countries have country-specific requirements as well. For example, for Finns, you do not need to prove your English if you have graduated with cum laude approbator. Please go and see the country-specific requirements once again from this admission site, tlu.ee/admissions. After you have done all that, you need to pass the program-specific requirements. Those are different for all the programs. For media studies, you need to send to us your CV. If you have, you need to send to us your creative portfolio. There can be the best examples of your photos, films, essays, articles, whatever you feel you have done really well. Those you can include to your portfolio. Portfolio is not a must. If you have one, it's a plus. Then send it to us. After that, you need to do the written assignment where they test your media-specific knowledge. After that, you need to do a photo story. You will be given a topic, and according to this topic, you will choose some photos and send them back to us. After you have done all that, we will decide who will get to the interview and who not. And after the interview, we will decide who gets accepted and who not. Hopefully, all of you will get accepted, yes. Program-specific requirements for Crossmedia are a bit different. There you need to send to us your audiovisual CV, and then an interview will be done. And according to those two things, we will decide if you will start your studies. I will tell you a few words about the student life as well here in Tallinn. First of all, here at Tallinn University, we have our own student union, under which there are a lot of different organizations. For example, an international club that organizes events for international students. ESL Tallinn for exchange students. We even have our own student TV that broadcasts the latest news. We have our own culture clubs, sports clubs, photo club, culture collectives, for example, choirs and orchestras. We have our own students' cafe and even a childcare. So all of those, in all of those activities, you can participate in, of course. About accommodation here in Tallinn. We have our own dormitories. Tallinn University dormitory is just around the corner from our main campus. And there are double rooms for the price of 170.50 euros per month. And here you can see the photos. Those photos are from the Tallinn University dormitory, so it looks quite nice. There's G4S dormitory as well, where there are double and single rooms for the price of 180 and 360 euros. And Deco dormitory, where there are also double and single rooms. The double rooms are for the price of 150 euros and single rooms for the price of 300 euros. In order to get the place in the dormitory, since the places are limited, you have to act rather fast. Of course, there is always a possibility to rent an apartment with your friends, with your course mates. And of course, as in every town, the prices of the apartments can vary a lot. You can read more about the dormitories, see the photos, and so on from tlu.ee/housing. There is more information about the accommodation. Approximate cost of living in Tallinn is about 300 up to 500 euros, but that does not include the accommodation. Here are a few examples of the prices. For example, a student meal here in Tallinn University is from 3 up to 7 euros. Of course, it depends what you want, but the usual cost is 350, for example. Public transport is free of charge for the residents of Tallinn, so that doesn't cost anything for you. Theater tickets 12 up to 18 euros, concert tickets 8 to 30, nightclubs 5 to 50, movie tickets 4 up to 8, and the sports clubs, for example, 30 up to 70 euros. And few words about our Tallinn summer and winter school as well. We talked about the degree programs, and now a few words about the short courses too. Tallinn summer and winter school are 3-week-long programs, one in July, other one in January. The summer school will be in July from 11th to 29th of July. And for example, there you can participate in the Crossmedia course as well. Usually during the summer and winter school, 85% of the participants are international students. During the summer school, we have about 350 participants all over the world. During winter school, much less, but the difference is because during the summer school, we have about 20 different courses. During the winter school, only 4. You can choose from language courses, IT courses, creative courses, and so on. Additional to courses, the summer and winter school offers a cultural program as well, where you can go to the museums, to field trips outside of Tallinn, and so on. The registration for the summer school is already open. So if you go to summerschool.tlu.ee and you will find a course that interests you, you can already go and register and come here in July. So our main campus here in the city center, all of our buildings have Latin names. So our students could recognize in which building they need to go, and all those names represent certain traditions to Tallinn University. First of all, there's Terra. Earth represents academic traditions. This is the oldest building of Tallinn University. All the students graduate in this building, for example. Then there's Astra. This is the newest addition to Tallinn University. Astra, the stars, means achieving your goals. There are different laboratories, for example. Silva, forest, represents researchers. This is also known as the language building. Nova, new, represents innovation, houses BFM. So as I already said, all the necessary studios and equipment for filmmaking is located in the Nova building. Ursa, a bear, represents defending your ideas. And Mare, C, represents openness. There are different classrooms and seminar halls. Here are a few photos of our campus interior as well. So what I suggest you to do, in case you want to know directly from the student what they think about studying here, what they think about Tallinn University, go to tlu.ee/ambassadors and ask directly from our student ambassadors what they think. You can see their email there and you can write to them. Each of the English-based program has one representative there, so feel free to write to them. And last but not least, I suggest you to follow us in social media to keep up with our latest doings. In Facebook, you can find us when you type in Tallinn University. So thank you. If you have any questions about the admission, write to admissions@tlu.ee. But meanwhile, you can of course go to our webpage and read more information at tlu.ee.